right notes in the right rhythm, but you're still sounding clumsy and uneven, and you think that to go from here to beautiful, glistening, fast passage work is just the amount of practicing, but that is not true. How you play anything at the piano is a reflection of not just the amount of hours that you put in, but the quality of your experience at the piano, and also the maturity and your musical intention you have with that certain passage work. I'm going to distill down all my experience, like accumulated over many decades of piano experience, down to 7 steps. My title says 7 minutes, but I'm just explaining that in 7 steps. Please don't get me wrong. It probably will take you 7 years. I think I got it over maybe 17 years, and to be able to teach this in this articulate way, I would say it took me 27 years. So if you're ready, let's dive into Impromptu Op.90 No.2, the E flat major, the famous one by Franz Schubert. You know all the right notes, all the right in the right rhythm. Most people think their passage work sounds bad because of a bad fingering, but that's usually not true. What makes you sound bad is actually your doubt. Just stick with the fingering that's given in your edition. Step 2, follow the pitch contour. Are the notes rising or falling? When the pitches are falling, do a little diminuendo. When the pitches are rising, when they're ascending, do a little crescendo. We're not reinventing expression here. We're imitating the most natural instrument we have, the voice. Unless the composer noted otherwise. For example, between bars 3 and 4, there is a crescendo and diminuendo, and it does not exactly mirror the shape of the pitches. Stop accenting the beats. The bar lines and the beats are just there for you to read it easier. This, I suggest asymmetrical phrasing, and that means you're always going over the bar line, over the beats, and not always stopping before the bar line. So I suggest that you practice to the first note of the next bar. And then from the second note. So you're always going over the bar line and stopping on the first note of the next bar rather than breaking it up bar by bar by bar. Another way to say it is to hide the first note. Of course, don't overdo it, but it's a good trick. You also have to be careful about your thumb. Your thumb is short and stubby, so it tends to create accents. You float your forearm, but the most important thing is for your ears to detect it when it happens.
We also have to watch out for our 4th finger, which shares a tendon with your 5th finger. It's physically weaker and less independent. You can practice it for decades, it's still going to be your weakest finger. There's a limit to how much you can control individual fingers at high speed. If you're going to micromanage every single note with finger strength alone, you will plateau. So when you need more power, more sound, especially on weak fingers like your 4th and 5th, don't press harder with your finger. Instead, let your arm weight drop into the finger. The weight does the work. And that leads me to step 6, how your arm should also move across the keyboard.
Your arm needs to guide the fingers. So if you look at the top-down view, it shouldn't ever look like this. And then the final step. Now you know which fingers are strong, which fingers are weak, which notes to compensate for, where to use your arm, and how to get to different registers of the keyboard. And now you have to think about the longer line. It's an 8-bar group that's divided into 2 parts, 4 plus 4. And then that's repeated. right? And then it repeats again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's the last step. And bonus step, if you want to go extra mile and practice in a different way, then use rhythmic variations. And if you want a little more detail on how to practice in dotted rhythm, then watch my video, which I will link in the description below. If you are a thoughtful, curious pianist wanting to connect with other pianists just like you, come join the community, the Self-Guided Pianist. I will link it in the description below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.